IM8 went from 0 to $100 million in revenue in less than 12 months. That's the fastest growth ever recorded in the history of the supplement industry. They're co-founded by David Beckham, backed by scientists from NASA and Mayo Clinic, and have over 700,000 customers in over 34 countries. And while everyone's focused on the celebrity founder and the clinical grade formula, nobody's talking about the email strategy they're using to help them scale. So in this video, I'm breaking down every single email IM8 ever sent, their campaign strategy, their email design template, the psychology behind why their emails convert, and the exact playbook you can steal for your own brand. By the end, you're going to walk away with a repeatable email framework you can plug into your store to turn one-time buyers into loyal repeat customers. If you want the full document breakdown, it's completely free. Grab it from the link in the description below. Otherwise, let's get right into it. All right, what I have in front of me here is a Figma document compiled with all of IM8's emails that they've sent out in 2025. As we look here, we have the email compilation, we have the email design breakdown here, and then also the campaign strategy here as well. Going into the overall email compilation, IM8 sent out roughly 121 campaigns over the course of 2025. That comes out to roughly like 2 to 3 email campaigns per week. And they maintain a really good solid breakdown between top of funnel, middle funnel, and bottom of funnel emails. We'll get into more of that later on. All right, so getting into the email marketing strategy by month. Yeah, so as a supplement company, obviously IM8's gonna plug themselves into whatever's happening within the new year. Obviously that's around New Year's resolutions and people trying to better themselves. So how can IM8 plug themselves into, their morning routine, into their goals, into their health goals or wellness goals? And so obviously, wishing you a strong start to 2026. Let's rebuild the part most routines leave out. Mid-January reality check, quick check-ins. This is pretty standard, especially for a supplement brand. Getting into February, it's a similar mix here as well. They're going into, get your free welcome kit, why David Beckham decided to become a founder. And then they're also getting into the gift of energy and vitality and longevity. They're talking about, obviously Valentine's Day is in February. So we're getting into couple shots. We're showcasing, why IM8 is different, but it's kind of like with a couple together. A really cool thing here too that they do is they plug themselves into events and then they let their audience know about them. So here's an in-person event that they had in January with David Beckham, I think in New York, and they're talking about it publicly to their audience, right? Which is amazing to see, and it's not something that you really see often for B2C brands. It's a really good strategy here. I really like it because you're showcasing that like you're not just online, you're everywhere. You're at in-person events. It gives some legitimacy to the brand and the product. All right, so getting into March, it looks like they really scaled back the amount of emails that they were sending out. They obviously have. It's all pretty basic, straightforward campaigns, right? It's top funnel, middle funnel campaigns that are always featuring the product. They did a campaign for Women's International Month, which is amazing to see. And then obviously they're just talking about the product, where they're getting people to try it out. They're talking about statistics, including a recipe here, a testimonial, anything to really drive adoption and getting people on subscription. Also, another thing too to keep in mind, all over the past couple emails that we've seen here, they don't really send out any bottom of funnel campaigns, meaning they don't really offer anything with like, hey, get your free welcome kit, here's this offer, here's this discount. They don't really do that often, only within this campaign here at the beginning of the year. And then they also have it here. Beyond that, they don't do that. They just talk about the product and then they give value and insights to their audience, which is a lot more top of funnel content. April, same thing. They're talking a lot more middle funnel and top of funnel content, talking about the products, giving testimonials, the science behind gut health and how the product helps. Then they have, a simple IM8 smoothie, that's just of a recipe for adoption. A trust score versus like other brands, which is, I've never heard of that before, but it's great. It sounds scientific. Trust score source at sub.co. So it sounds like it's working well for them. And whatever they can use to sell the product more, I think it's worth it, right? Also, they have some more hero sections here, lifestyle images of a couple working out or people outside. April is around the time where it's spring. People are going out more and enjoying themselves. So obviously they're going to be talking more about that and plugging themselves in there. So getting into May, more testimonials, more talking about the product, more recipes. They're just getting more into like top of funnel and middle funnel content where they're just talking about the product and why it's worth it for you and why you should just be taking it. Again, here, June, very similar structure. They start off the month with a plain text email coming from, I think, the CEO, which is really, really long. It's one of the longest plain text emails I've honestly seen. Also, they're talking more about the product. Another event that they had in Miami with David Beckham and, what they're talking about here. Also, they're announcing that they're having a loyalty program coming in soon. And on top of that, they have their first IM8 ambassador. And you're going to see this being plugged into their overall marketing strategy a lot more. They get tons of ambassadors. They really focus on this because they really want some of the world's best athletes and be part of the program and take the product and endorse it. So they have Aryna Sabalenka, world's #1 tennis player, as one of their ambassadors, and you're going to see this a lot more within their strategy later on. Getting into July, behind the scenes with their new ambassador, more talking about the product, more recipes. All right, July, they're talking more about Aryna with their brand new ambassador, new recipes, more talking about the product. They also have an advisory board. And so this is someone that they brought on. This is a host of a podcast. And so they brought him on, and they're just announcing the fact that he's part of their advisory board. More testimonials, more talking about the product. Also talking more about other people who are taking the product. Dustin Poirier, another doctor who joins the scientific advisory board. They have another person, right? So they're getting so many of these different types of people who are part of the board, endorsing the product, trying to make it better, showcasing like the legitimacy behind it and the formula, showcasing the fact that it's better than anything else out there on the market. And on top of that, here are all these amazing athletes that are taking the product every single day and they're endorsing it, right? They're putting their name behind that. By the time August rolls around, you already have a feel for what they're sending out. It's just product spotlights, recipes, and then also they're showcasing the legitimacy around the product by highlighting the fact that doctors are taking it, by these world champion tennis players are taking it, etc. September has a similar story, but what they also include is a new product launch. So they're talking about longevity. It's a new product mix, and this is more so like a product spotlight around this new product that they have. And this is also where they start including product comparison charts between longevity capsules and then also this new longevity powder that they are showcasing and selling. So yeah, they're showcasing it between other, their product versus other products. They also include a new bundle called the Beckham Stack, which is not only the basic longevity product, right, or what they were already showcasing here, like these powders or capsules, but also the brand new product that's focused more so around ultimate daily energy or longevity. Now we're in October. They're showcasing more about the new product and the new bundles that they're releasing. David Beckham trying out the product. And then also because it's October, seasons are changing, the flu seasons, people are getting more sick. They're talking more about vitamin D and immune support and how their products can help with that. Okay, November comes in and they're still doing the same thing. Recipes, product showcases, product highlights. They also do this really interesting thing here too, where they're promoting a specific event that they have been, I think, sponsoring or co-hosting, which is quite interesting. Then we get more into November, and then they have their Black Friday sale launch. Keep in mind, all these other D2C brands are launching Black Friday weeks or even at the beginning of November or like weeks before the 28th. They actually launched it on the 28th. And so it really just showcases that they're not like strapped for like, oh, we need to make this a really great launch. They've grown so much over the course of 2025 that like by the time Black Friday rolls around, they're like, oh, this is like a bonus. We'll just launch it on the day of. This could be strategic. This could just be also they didn't plan ahead for it. Now, December 2025, they end off the year with their Cyber Monday sale, campaigns around gifting, around the product. They're talking more about the year for themselves and these amazing customer stories that they received. Simple Merry Christmas campaign, and then also getting into the new year. With some key observations, as you can see, they're not sending a lot of bottom of funnel promotional campaigns. They're not sending a ton of offers, discounts to their audience. Especially for the start of the year, they just focus on recipes and plugging their products into people's everyday lives. And then they just talk about the product. They just gave studies, testimonials, ingredient breakdowns. They just showcase so much product education so that like they're still driving revenue and talking about the product, but they're not giving an offer. They're not like trying to drive sales through that because one, they're probably already doing that through their website, through paid ads, through paid content. And also they want to position themselves as a premium product. And so they're not going to really discount their way to doing that. Number two is strong top of funnel content. They have a lot of recipes, wellness tips, nutrient explainers, doctor features, and then always at the bottom, they have a CTA that's pushing people to the product. And so they're really just adopting a lot more top of funnel content there as well, because that's also really necessary for them as a supplement brand. Number 3 is athlete and scientist credibility pipeline. So obviously they're showcasing all the different partnerships that they have with these professional athletes, with these really well-known doctors, people who are joining their advisory board. And so these collaborations really build credibility because they're able to borrow the credibility of these people and bring that into their brand. Number 4 is the hard launch for the Beckham Stack. So September and October, they released a teaser and they're trying to frame some education around longevity and talk more about it. And then they have a personal message from David Beckham. And then they also had the product launch in the beginning of October. And this really drove, like, they're driving the bundle. They're trying to drive this Beckham Stack and this new product, this longevity product. And they had a really good launch for it. Number 5, again, not a lot of bottom funnel content. They didn't really do a lot of discounting. They didn't really do a lot of offers. It was just really around the end of the year, around Black Friday, Cyber Monday, where they really included an offer and pushed it. Even around like Independence Day or even Memorial Days, like big holidays in the US, they didn't really promote those and talk about them. So really just goes to show they're not really focused on that. And then number 6, again, the recipes. They're just talking more about recipes and integrating the product into people's everyday lives. In terms of what they're doing well, it's really just reiterating what I just mentioned above with the key observations. They're sending a lot of top of funnel content quality. The emails are really well designed on top of that as well. They look amazing. They also are driving a lot more credibility to the brand throughout the year with these athlete partnerships, with these advisory board partnerships. They're talking more about the Beckham Stack. It's a new product launch for them as well that can drive more higher customer LTVs, more customer adoption. And obviously, the more products that they're going to add on, the more revenue they're going to be able to drive through them. Holiday emails feel natural. They had a Christmas email. They had a year in review email. Those were really simple ones that they really were incorporating, and we're going to see them incorporate those a lot more. And then also, BFCM offer structure was clear and consistent. It was the same offer between Black Friday and Cyber Monday. It was crystal clear. And then also on the emails, they're super well designed. They're like mini landing sales pages that talked about the product. Here's the offer. Here's what you're going to get in the offer. Here's the credibility behind the product. Here are the testimonials. Here's everything you need to know in order to make a good decision around the product and why you should buy it. I had some key takeaways for this brand, but they're really just the same that I mentioned above here with what they're doing well and the key observations. A lot of top of funnel, middle of funnel content. They're talking about that they have plenty of partnerships. They launched this new Beckham Stack and this new product, and they're also sending a lot more campaigns throughout the rest of the year. So they're scaling, they're growing, and they have an amazing email program. Now that we covered all the emails that they sent out through 2025, let's get into the email design breakdown. This is where we're going to be breaking down the top 5 main sections that they use, and you're going to see repeated across most or a majority of their campaigns. And this is what allows them to send 2 to 3, even 4 campaigns per week consistently without having to reinvent the wheel every single time. So main sections we have here is number 1, the hero section. Number 2, the product spotlight section. 3, product education / unique selling proposition section. 4, testimonials, and then 5, footer / call to action section. So number 1 is the hero section. This is the first thing subscribers see when they open the email. This is just prime real estate. It's really just the above the fold when people open up the email on their computers or on their phones. And as you can see here, they use a variety of hero sections to get people's attention as much as possible. So here's a lifestyle image of someone unboxing a gift. Here's a lifestyle image of the product, the Black Friday sale highlight. Then you have product and use imagery. So they're showcasing the product being poured into a glass cup. More gift highlights, more lifestyle images of the product, a lifestyle image of a man drinking the product. Really cool section that they did here is a value proposition breakdown and the main hero section. So here's headline, body copy, and here's just these main value propositions that they have here surrounding the product as well. More body copy, and then this is just the product launch. It's kind of tasteful and it looks great, honestly. I'm really impressed by this. I've never seen a brand do this before, but it looks great, honestly. They have a product comparison email here as well, right in the hero section, showcasing the difference between the main product that they launched the brand with and then the new longevity powder that they launched as well. Product shot, and here's some gifts. Here's some testimonials. Another product shot around the powder and the new longevity product. So that's the hero section. Now we are going to get into the product spotlight section. So this is where IM8 goes deep on what they're actually selling. They're showcasing the product. It's going to be a product grid, or they're highlighting the actual product with a CTA button. So as you can see here, here's a product spotlight between the Ultimate Essentials versus Ultimate Longevity. Also the Beckham Stack if you want the full wellness upgrade. Then they also get into breakdown of the Beckham Stack. So what do you get here? Ultimate Longevity, Ultimate Essentials, and then here's what you get inside the Beckham stack. Here's another one where they're talking about the product benefits for the Ultimate Essentials: immunity, gut health, hydration, and you could just shop now here. One really cool thing I like is that they have this line that leads you down to the shop now button. So you always know like where to go. It's really simple. They didn't have to do this, right? They could have just put these bullet points here and then you go here. But this is a very simple like trick you can use in your emails or even on your sales pages that leads people down to where they need to click or where they need to go. And I think this really helps out for them. Next is the what's inside breakdown. They use these for the Beckham stack or for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, or breakdowns here around the ingredients and what they do for you, which is really great to see. Another what's inside breakdown, another breakdown between the two products. Here's a cool cost breakdown between other solutions versus us. So what they're doing is they're breaking down the general price between all these different types of supplements that you're going to have to pay for every month. And then also a comparison between that to what you can just get with the daily Ultimate Essentials for a third of the cost, right? So really cool section here. I really like this. Another cool thing that they do here as well is they do a BFCM offer breakdown. So here they're breaking down the cost savings for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Here's the regular price. Here's the regular price for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And on top of that, here are the free things that you're going to get in your box that we otherwise normally don't include within the products. And then here's just another Beckham stack breakdown. So next is the product education and USP section. So this is where they build the case for why the products are different. These are a lot more just product breakdowns and education around the product, why it works. All right, section number 3 is the product education section. So this is where they're just showcasing why the product is different. Here are the benefits, here are the features, here's what's inside it. This section here, they're showcasing the product and also the ingredients that are inside it. They do a breakdown of the benefits by the scoop, right? So here's a scoop of this product, here's what you're gonna get inside of it. They also do a lot of heavy statistics usage to support product claims. So they also did a lot of studies that back up the product that they can showcase within the emails. Also a simple, unique selling proposition icon section that they can just slip into any simple campaign. Very simple, and I've seen them use that in multiple campaigns as well. Here's some bullet points of benefits with a product highlight shot. Another ingredient breakdown where they're also using colorful and unique supplement image renders. More statistics, more unique selling proposition icons, another breakdown of pricing compared to separate supplement pricing. This is a really cool section where they're like highlighting the value of the program with like an expert showcase. I like this a lot. Here's a product roadmap or timeline, when you should expect results over the course of the next couple months. Here's a product comparison chart between IM8 and other supplements. And this is a really crazy section here where they are directly calling out AG1 as a competitor, and they're listing out how their formula competes and is superior to them. So they're just breaking down the products line by line and showcasing how their products are a lot better than AG1's. Number 4 is the testimonial section. So they use testimonials often and use them in more creative ways than most brands do in the space. So they do a really good blend between showcasing testimonials from the brand ambassadors, but also from their regular everyday customers, right? So they use selling proposition icons here. They showcase headshots and images of customers. Also, they have some of these from the brand ambassadors. And on top of that, this is really interesting. They have this testimonial here. They have this image and this title for hers. And then they also use these quick USP icons based on the testimonial. So they showcase like what she's talking about here. And then they have icons and then unique selling proposition breakdowns based on what she said. In case you like skim through it and didn't read it, you just see these and you're like, oh, this is what she said, right? So it's really interesting. I've never seen that before. Another one here, direct quotes from popular athletes with images. Some more testimonial sections. Here's a section where they're showcasing the product that they took. So it's just the everyday ultimate longevity supplement. Some more stuff from ambassadors, more stuff from actual people. And then this is really cool here too. They use review snippets to educate why they include specific ingredients in their supplements, right? So here, this person experienced X because of the ingredients we include that help with Y. Quick example of that, this person is talking about they felt fatigued, bloated, and then 6 months later they have more energy, they lost some weight, and they have a normal feeling gut. And below that, they have an icon of probiotics, and they're talking about how these ingredients help support nutrient absorption, convert food into steady, clean energy. So they're talking about not only this testimonial, but also the benefits and like breaking down like, hey, why this person's experienced that. Again, I've never seen that before, and it's genius. It's actually very, very smart, and I like that a lot. Last section here, they have the footer / call to action section. Generally what they include is they have the logo, about us section here, and then also links to the science page and then the FAQs page. Sometimes they don't always include that. Sometimes they'll just have the social media icons as well, but it depends on what they're doing. But every single bottom section is completely different and tailored to the email. Sometimes they're a main CTA section. Sometimes they have other different sections to sell the person on the product. So here they have unique selling proposition icons. They have this little banner bar of this endorsement from the tennis athlete. They have a small little section, more bottom CTA. This is just driving people to the landing page. Another one here as well, another one here as well. So that's kind of like what they do within their bottom CTAs. And I really like how they play around with these different sections to drive people to the site. All right, so now that we've covered their email design breakdown, we covered all the different sections that they use, let's go over their email campaign strategy. So when you look at any sort of e-commerce brand, you can really break down their email strategy in 3 distinct pillars: top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel content. So top of funnel is going to be educational and brand building content. This is going to be how-to guides, myth busting content, science breakdowns, PR announcements, partnership reveals, company updates. This is just where you're teaching subscribers something useful without pushing for a sale, or giving something, a quick update about the brand, or pushing something for PR, saying like, hey, we got a collaboration here, or something of that nature. The main goal here is just to build trust and show that you're an expert in the space. You're still going to feature your products. You're still going to mention them. They're not going to be the main point of the email. So the main ones that IM8 is really pushing out here is obviously a number of different top of funnel content. Generally, it's going to be more so around the recipes and in-person exclusive events. And then they also have educational content like how to reset from the inside out, and talking about partnerships and collaborations with their new advisory board, right? So they're talking about recipes. Here's a doctor, they're board certified, and here's what they do. Here's what they think about IM8, right? They also send campaigns out like wishing their subscribers a Merry Christmas. So next is middle funnel content. This is going to be more product focused, education, and social proof. You're connecting the products to subscribers' goals. You're showing them how your products solve their problems, when to use them, why they work. You're really moving people from saying like, hey, I like this brand, to, hey, I should probably try this product out. So it's going to be product benefit breakdowns, usage guides, customer testimonials, before and after stories, product comparison emails, that sort of stuff. So you're just getting people to think about the specific products that you're promoting and why they should start taking them. So here they're doing a lot more promotional content around the supplement, and they also do promotions around awards and also how their ambassadors use their products as well. Product features, how you should be taking them. This is more of a QA style email. Product comparison emails, studies and statistics around customer results, testimonials, and a whole lot more. Lastly is bottom of funnel content. This is going to be around sales, promotions, direct conversions. You're just driving people to make a purchase, right? That's all you're trying to do. You're giving them an offer. You're giving them a deadline. It could also be around a product launch as well. So you're promoting a different product so that they go ahead and click buy. So again, discount promotions, sale announcements, early VIP access, low stock alerts, free gift offers, that sort of stuff. So as you can see, they don't really use a lot of bottom of funnel content. It's really just around key sales events or offers where they're promoting a new product, a new stack, where they release the new longevity product, or around Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Beyond that, or they have this welcome kit. Beyond that, they don't really do anything else here. And so as you can see, a lot of this content is centered and catered towards middle funnel and top of funnel, but not much bottom of funnel. So that is IM8's email strategy. Now, if you want the full document breakdown, it's completely free. Just click the link in the description and get access to it. And if you're an e-commerce brand doing $1 million per year or more in revenue and you want us to audit your email strategy and show you exactly where you're leaving money on the table, click the first link in the description below to book your free audit with my team. We'll dig into your flows, your campaigns, your audience segmentation, and show you how to build the kind of email program that turns customers into subscribers, just like IM8.